and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be filming the what products were a waste of my money and also the products that I wish I had purchased. The first waste of money item, product, I guess whatever you want to call it, was the breastfeeding pillow. This was a real letdown for me, guys. I was honestly thinking it was going to help a lot because, you know, why would everyone rave about this product if it wasn't going to work really well? I think A, it depends on your size. If you are a petite person, this product might be great for you. Myself, I have a baby belly, and I had a baby belly for a while after having a baby. So the band did fit, the belt did fit, but it wasn't comfortable, and where the pillow should be sitting around your midriff, it just like elevated to sit on the fat roll. So it wasn't a great motivator, or what's it called? Wasn't a great confidence boost for my ego after having a baby, and I felt like nothing was working. I was still hunching because like it was so low down, and there were these weird lumps as well, like sitting in the foam, which didn't like look like it in picture, and you might not see it in this picture here, but it was weird. I guess it was to support the neck of the baby, but it just made things super uncomfortable, super awkward, and I really regret buying it. Thank gosh I bought mine off like secondhand, because I don't think I could have justified paying $100 or whatever it is brand new for a new one. Screw that. The next item you may be familiar with based off my Newborns Essentials video. That item is the co-sleeper. So, or co-sleeper bassinet, whatever you want to call it. So it basically fixes against the side of your bed, and it has a roll down window, and you can just reach over to your baby, grab your baby, pack it up, and just like, you know, feed in the night, whatever you want to do. It's all great in theory, but I'd had a cesarean, so first of all, you can't even really reach over and pick your baby up anyway, because it's like, you know, and you've got the bedside table there, so it's a bit further down, and it's just awkward. To start off with, it's awkward. You still have to get up. I ended up having to move it down the bed so I'd have enough of a gap to like squeeze my way out of the bed. It just didn't work the way that I thought it was going to work. And the second issue with it was the fact that the walls were all enclosed. So constantly after about, I think it must have been 4 weeks, Elliot was saying that I wasn't waking when he was stirring, which is fair enough. You're exhausted, and he wasn't crying, so I wasn't hearing him like rustling around, and he was saying he was waking and finding that his face was flat up against the plastic, and it freaked me out. So I instantly put it on to sell, and I bought the Bori bassinet instead. So yeah, it was a fail. Majorly regret buying it from the start. I should have done my research. And that's what I'm doing for you. I'm giving you guys your research. So another waste of money purchase that I personally did not purchase, but again, I was borrowing from a friend, or, you know, lending, but I guess you may be looking to purchase, is the Bumbo. Yeah, I think it's called Bumbo. Anyway, I'll insert a picture here. Basically, by the time they are at the age where they're able to sit up enough for them to support their heads and to, you know, be eating or what have you, it's too late for them to fit their bloomin' chunky little cute legs into those holes. And you may have a baby that, you know, is a very slender, tiny baby. If you do, perfect, will work for you. But 9 times out of 10, the reviews that I've been getting from my mum friends, and even my friend who lent me the Bumbo, she said she didn't get much use out of it because the thighs were too thick for it. And it is true. I was like, oh, surely not. Like, surely a baby will be able to fit, like, surely, yeah, there's a couple of babies that are extra big or whatever, but no. Darcy is in the 50th percentile. He is 4.5 months. So around the age that they should be starting to use it now. And I've put him in it a couple of times, and his legs just refuse to fit. Like, they will go in, but good luck getting them out. Like, you've got to pull the piece apart, then get their leg out while doing that all at the same time. So if you can do that, hats off to you. But it's too much hassle. It's so much of a hassle and a waste of money. The next item is an interesting one because of the fact that I think if I had bought a different type, it would be a different result, if that makes sense. So the bath seat is what I'm talking about. It's a plastic seat. I don't know if I'll be able to get an image for you, but I'll chuck it here if I do. It's a plastic seat that they sit in. But what really bugged me with it was that it didn't really look very supportive, and he would just slide down. Like, it's plastic, for goodness sake. As soon as he's like bottom and back sat on it, he would just scoot down like there was no tomorrow. So I felt really unsafe with him in it. Also, his body was like mainly out of the water. Like, you don't want to put that much water in there in case he slipped down and then fell in it. So only his toes and bottom would be in the water. So it just did not make sense whatsoever. But there is in my what I wish I'd purchased a different version, which I will talk about soon. So the last things that I wish I hadn't have purchased was so many clothes. Like, I didn't honestly buy too many. I got given a lot, but I did go out and buy a few pieces here or there that were on sale or like in op shops and things like that. He barely used any of his like clothes because of the fact, like, I think I underestimated how the seasons differ, if that makes sense. So like in summer in Australia, it is so hot, and he was born in September, so that is coming out of spring, or in spring coming into summer, and it was so hot. It was the hottest September ever, and all of his newborn stuff barely got used. I had to end up going out buying some of those Bonds onesies and like the Bonds little suits and stuff. So not suits, what are they called? Singlets. Because it was just too hot for anything, and then he ended up being naked a lot of the time. And I know they're so cute, and I'm glad I didn't have a girl because I probably would have gone absolutely crazy. But yeah, don't waste your money, guys. Just get a few nice pieces, and especially things like suits and those little one-piece onesies, and just things that are easy to, you know, go around the house with. Get a nice couple of outfits to go out. But even then, guys, like, so many mums that I've gone out like to dates with and play dates and things like that, they've even just done Bonds onesies and just like little big W things, like things that you can just slip on and slip off. No one's like putting in this grand effort. They're tiny anyway. I know it looks super cute, but personally, I wouldn't waste my money next time on too many clothes. I would just get a couple of nice pieces just so that I know that they were theirs, and then I would just use the things that people handed down. Onto the things that I wish I had have purchased. Now, the first one I got gifted to me as a secondhand piece. So I do have one, but I wish I had have purchased and actually looked into getting a really good one. It is a rocker. So not a swing, not a, you know, moving mechanical thing. I just wanted a simple bouncer, like a bouncing rocker. My dad ended up getting me a second-hand one, which was so lovely. At first I was like, oh, I don't need that, but I'll take it, sure. It has ended up being my most used item, and I so wish I had have known that, because I would have gone out and got the best one out there possible so that it would last through my kids. Because the issue I'm finding with the one that we've got is, I'm not sure if it's just because it's a cheaper brand. Like, I have nothing against cheap products, cheap brands, anything like that. Like, I want to get a bargain just as much as the next person. But for some reason, this rocker, the material around the ring or the bouncer part keeps shifting and like slowly, gradually moving more over to the left side. So he's like sitting like this in it. So it was totally, you know, I mean, it was free, it was a gift. I'll take it, I'll use it for this baby, but for the next one, it's definitely something that I will be purchasing, and I will be doing my research into finding the best one, because especially with refluxy babies or just babies in general, like, if you just want to put them down for a minute, have a cup of tea, have a shower, put your makeup on, really anything that you want to do for just 10 minutes by yourself without holding a baby, it is perfect. Like, especially for babies who hate the floor. Like, Darcy does not like tummy time, he does not like back time, he does not like anything other than being upright, so it was the perfect solution, really. My next item that I wish I had purchased is the Hugger. So this is a suction, what was that? Suction milk catch thing. I don't know what it's called. I mean, I'm not into specifics. I'm no technical expert. But basically, you suck it onto your nipple, and then while the baby feeds on the other breast, any letdown or any milk that would normally just leak out would be caught, and you can keep it in the fridge for another feed, or you can put it in your freezer. So I'm actually in the process of purchasing one at the moment because I find that my letdown just goes everywhere, and I really want to catch that gold. If you are a breastfeeding mama, you understand what I mean. It takes forever to make the milk, and you want to make sure you're using every single bit maximum to the T. What am I even talking about, Katie? You want to make sure that you're using it to the max. Can you speak today? So I will be reviewing the Hugger because I want to make sure that I capture all my liquid gold and put it all to good use. So if you're interested in seeing that, let me know in the comments below. But yes, that's a product that I wish I had purchased, and I am going to purchase, but I wish I had from the start, if that makes sense. My friend says it's amazing. She caught or catches about 80, I think she said 80 to 100 mils. So the next thing I really wish I had was the Mama-Roo. Now, these are goddamn expensive. I'm sure if you're having a baby, or if you've had a baby and you've looked into them, you yourself are probably thinking the same thing. They are really pricey. The thing that's so risky with it, and this is why I was umming and ahhing about leaving this on my list or not, is the fact that every baby is different. So Darcy loved the swing for about 5 minutes, and then he would get so annoyed. But if I held him in like this position and swayed him like this, which is different to the one that went like this, he loved it. So I don't know if the Mama-Roo would have worked, but I wish I had it to like see, to know if it would have worked. But it's one of those things where it's like, it's so much money. Do you buy it and take that risk, or will you regret it? I don't know. I guess I'll leave that up to you to decide whether it's worth risking or not. Every single baby is so different. Like my friend, she ended up giving me her swing because her baby hated it. Darcy liked it for about 5-10 minutes, then he would get sick of it. So I'd be interested to know if your babies love the Mama-Roo, especially if your baby didn't like the normal swings. But yeah, I guess I will decide when I have my next baby whether it's worth it or not, because the other thing is it's quite, well, it looks quite small in the seat itself, so I'd be interested to know and do a bit of research on how long the baby can use it for. So one thing I was really missing, or not one thing, lots of things, but collectively this one thing, was maternity nurse, or maternity and nursing tops / bras / clothes. So yeah, I definitely did not invest enough in myself. I just sort of put myself to the back and I was like, you know what, let's spend the money on the baby, let's get these nice items that we're gonna have forever, and I regret that. Not so much for the fact that I wish I had spoiled myself, because boy do I wish that were true, but no, it's more for the fact that it makes your life so much easier. Like, I didn't think that I would get a lot of use out of my maternity jeans that I did buy. So I think I'll run you through what I bought. I bought 2 maternity nursing singlets. I bought 1 proper maternity bra and 2 croppy maternity bras, and 3 pairs of maternity jeans. That was my list of what I bought myself, which if you haven't had a baby yet, you might think is quite a lot. And if you have had a baby, you're probably thinking, how the heck do you get by? So yeah, I wish I had bought some more tops that were breastfeeding friendly. You don't have to specifically go to get, you know, breastfeeding tops or nursing tops or whatever. Places will do them if you just have zips or buttons or anything like that. But I wish I had thought about it ahead of time, because especially, you know, breastfeeding for a first time mum, or any mum, I guess, once you haven't been breastfeeding for a while, can be daunting and different for every single baby. So just taking that added pressure of not worrying about a nipple slip or having to lift your whole stomach out in public, especially when you've just had a baby and you've got stretch marks everywhere and your belly is bigger than it normally is. The last thing you want to be doing is, you know, lifting your whole top up to get your baby in. And half my wardrobe I haven't been able to use for a good 6 months now because of the fact that A, I didn't fit it, and B, it's not breastfeeding friendly. So I think if you're gonna have more than one kid, which I am, and I should have thought about this, I need to invest in a good bunch of clothes. So now when I'm going past stores like Tempt or Dotty or Big W or anywhere really that sells cheap women's clothes, I look out for Zips. And that's another site, or not site, but a Facebook page that you should follow is Breastfeeding Australia, I think it's called. Breastfeeding Mums Australia, something like that. It's a big page, you'll be able to find it easily. Basically on there, women will suggest clothes that are on sale or places that sell really great nursing tops and stuff. So that is my number one probably. I know I didn't list it number one, but it probably is my number one regret for not purchasing. So my last items that I wish I had purchased more of is Swaddles, and particularly I think it's called the Infinity Swaddle. I'll put a picture here of what I mean, but the main reason being is because they really are so multifunctional. I thought that, I mean, not that you know, go in expecting anything in a baby shower, but previous baby showers that I had been to, so many Swaddles were given to women, and I thought, God, how are they going to use all these Swaddles? So I think for that fact, a lot of people may have felt the same way and didn't want to get me something that everyone else was going to get. So I actually ended up with 3 Swaddles, and it was a set of 3 Swaddles at my baby shower. So this was a real problem. I didn't realize at the time, but it did turn out to be a big problem. I ended up popping down to my local TK Maxx, and they had a set of 4 Aiden and Anae's Swaddles for I think about $25. So it was really, really decent. They got us through for the first couple of weeks, but now, here's 4.5 months, I am still breastfeeding, which I didn't expect I would be as well actually. I had hopes that I would still be, but I didn't know that I would be. He is now so active, and if you have a bubba my age, good on you if you can breastfeed in public without any nipple slips. When I'm around women, I don't care if I'm at baby run time, you know, swimming, whatever, and it's just women, I'm just like, pop your boob out, get it out, you're feeding your baby, whatever. But when you're in public, like a restaurant, or you're just, you know, outside the street, or, you know, somewhere where there's going to be a mixture of genders, old people, young people, middle-aged people, just every type of person there could be out, you don't want to get your boob out. Well, I don't. Hats off to you if you can do it. I wish I had the courage that you do. I think there is nothing wrong with feeding your baby, whether it be covered or not covered. Absolutely your choice. Personally, I don't have the confidence to do that yet. I do, as I said, around women, but not in other public places. So for myself, I wish I had have had that Swaddle, because he's now pushing his arm out, he's kicking his legs out, he now grabs the Swaddle and he yanks it down, and I've tucked it in here, for example, lifted my shirt down or lifted my shirt up, whichever one I'm wearing, and he pulls it down and I'm like, oh! I have had this happen so many times and it is so embarrassing. So to save yourself the discomfort of being publicly humiliated, if you are worried about breastfeeding in public, I would so recommend investing in a Swaddle like that. I haven't tried it myself, but I am so sure that it would be good because your baby can't pull it off. So as I said, to start off with, you may not need that, but later on when they can pull things off you, I think it might be a must. So I'm actually on the hunt for one at the moment. Any recommendations would be great. Leave them below if you have one, and also leave them a comment if you hate them. That's it, guys. I'm so happy that I got to share all this all with you. I wish that I had have looked up more to do with what people regretted buying and what people wish they had bought. I did look up a lot of regrets, but I didn't look up what a lot of people wish they had bought. Hopefully I've been somewhat of a help for you. If you've picked up one thing in this video that you know, you were gonna purchase and now you've decided not to, awesome. And if there's something that you are like, oh, I don't need that, but after seeing this, you wanna get, so happy. That's my main goal. So that's it for another video. Thank you so much for getting to the end if you're still here. As I've said, leave a comment below if you have any tips for other mums out there or any questions for myself, and I'll be sure to answer them. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.